Welcome, welcome. Thanks for staying for the very last talk. And today I will tell you what we are doing in the KodaDot and actually who we are. So I would start briefly. So we've been in the Polkadot for last 3 and more years. And we've been the successful grantees from the Web3 Foundation, reworking whole Polkadot apps to the Vue.js. And from there, with the Victor, we've been following path and various the challenges through the Polkadot we can the crack. So brief introduction: we are the probably only one open source NFT marketplace, and we actually disclose all of our magic we're actually doing in the GitHub. So we are comparing ourselves much better than the Solana on the Magic Eden or the OpenSea and that kind of stuff. And we implemented 9 NFT standards, which actually include the EVM standards as well, across the 6 parachains on the Polkadot, and then we are looking on implementing any other chains outside of Polkadot as well. And other stuff, how we are actually great, we are #1 dev in the Polkadot by the GitHub metrics, because we have over 100 developers, and we actually won numerous international hackathon, namely last year in the Polkadot North America, we implemented as the first one the Moonbeam contracts there, and then actually we are still a small internal team, and we don't have token, of course. So briefly introducing what's our mission. So the stuff is we feel in the Polkadot there is not any app which actually drives some user adoption, right? When some friends actually ask you what's the Polkadot, which app you should use, right? There is only few that you can count maximum the 5. So we actually try to solve this challenge, and we try to onboard as much possible users. So let's say in our early infant days, let's say it was the bull run November 21, we get over 1 million page views, and we've been having huge traffic coming, even we've been small sites, because there are huge demand for the Polkadot NFTs. So we've been one of only few players back then, and we've been trying accommodate all the needs and the feature requests in quick as possible. So we tried doing all the redesign in the KodaDot since the last year. So actually, gradually we are releasing the updates, and we are probably start appearing in some various showcases in some CSS frameworks, and we are winning various kind of the awards and the achievements. And other stuff, actually, we try to abstract all these NFT standards within the KodaDot, so people can use it much easier. And the best, on the sidelines, we created so much tooling, I will talk about later. So I would start with the basic stuff. So from the user perspective, we feel quite granted that we have this opportunity to bring the AI for the NFTs per se. I know it's controversial, but we try to enable these people and users to mint their stuff much easier. And we feel that it's something which is always breaking when people are minting this NFT. So actually, what actually you mint? You will grab the picture you have on your desktop or in your downloads folder and put it there and test it, right? But some artists, of course, which are using AI to create their art, actually that helps them a lot to bring this stuff and actually upsell, of course. Of course, there will be a lot of evidence in the content, but pretty much that's it. So I will briefly go through the AI waifu minter, which we ran a few successful campaigns in the past. Then we did the redesign of your portfolio when you first log in by the in-house designer, the Access. Then going through the mass mint, which is done by Devlat and Dayaji. I think they should be around. And the smart search, the unlockables, and the simple mint, and any other is coming this summer. So this is our first stuff. This is most screenshots for version 2. And we run some successful campaigns if you've been with the KodaDot on some Polkadot or Ethereum events. And we've been offering over the counter some minter, popularizing, and we run a few successful mints. And how it works actually in the background, we call the API from our partners, which actually drips us the results from our anime models, and actually we can, through the prompts, we send it to the machine, and the people can mint it right away. So what we try to solve is, it was bring the kind of the stuff that where people doesn't have the wallet. So there's first challenge, so they just enter the mail, we send them the mail and the email, and they can claim the link even they don't have the wallet in the present. So that actually worked. Another stuff is actually when is the event where actually people have the present wallet, they can mint right away, and pretty much that's it. So things there was quite streamlined, and you can deliver your mint in 1 minute, so it works. So another stuff what is coming was frequent feature and was really requested. There was yeah, I log into KodaDot and I actually want to see my portfolio, right? So I would see. So we actually bring this kind of stuff where you can see your recent sales, and artists actually asking us for some notifications and that kind of stuff, and that actually Come on, guys. And, uh, and, uh, and then actually with the single click in the sidebar, you can deliver this kind of stuff. And you can see, like, to go through your profile, you can see the NFTs. We try to achieve this, like, you can see these NFTs sold, like, across all the chains. And then another stuff, you can see all your balance. So actually, we'll be showing the balance and the portfolio of your current the NFTs, which is like the listing and all this stuff. Now we are showing the fungibles and non-fungibles from any other chain. So for example, StateMine, recently StateMint, and the Basilisk, of course, and the Kusama and the Polkadot, of course, and they're actually where we're coming with the other chains as well. We'll be adding with the partners. Another stuff is it actually help us solve the easy onboarding, because most of the time, notice, some people just came in and checking the balances, because sometimes in that wallet or wallet providers is not so easier, and it feel much more easier in the context. So that was the reason for that. Another stuff was like, it was finished recently, and it's already in the testing, is actually, we found it hard, and when artists actually want to mint, like, let's say, 200, 300 pictures, and right away, we seen there was like a lot of workshops, install this, install that on a notebook, run something in terminal, right? You cannot like explain this to pretty normal, not tech-savvy users, so actually we feel challenged like how to make it easier. So we sit down with the Vlad and bring some kind of the design, which was like running some research and make it easy as possible. So people just drop their zip with some guidelines and text files, will drop in the KodaDot UI, and they can mint it. And what is great about it, it works, this bulk minting, on any kind of the chains we support. So from today, we'll be like launching the StateMine on the NFT palette. We'll be demonstrating end of this presentation. And other stuff is like it's coming the StateMint on the Polkadot, where it's running already the Unix palette, which is amazing. And then actually we'll be making it available like in public for next month. So another stuff we drive over was like unlockables. Yeah, what you can imagine under that. So we made it's really the private testing right now, and we added some small dialogue in the gallery item, where as you are owner, you can claim this kind of the drop, and we try to demonstrate it with something. So we don't have access to some kind of the game. There is not so much game in the Polkadot, to be honest, but we try to make it with ourselves. So we have like our Koda shop, we giving there the vouchers, and we demonstrated this first time on the Polkadot Mininkov in the subwork, and we just go through and giving the people some vouchers. So how it works, people go through the AI waveform minter, and they receive these NFTs, and they click on the claim drop, and they will see the link which gives them the access to the voucher, where actually can claim this t-shirt for free or ship it to the doors, and actually simply work. It is amazing traction. So another stuff is actually smart search. So with the smart search, we feel inspired from the GitHub, because we are actually a bunch of the coders. We try to remove the complexity, because if you check like any kind of the NFT marketplace, has these search bars on collections and some global search, and it was really annoying that it's actually eating vertical space. So how we actually try to make it really sophisticated, it's the first version iteration. Once you are browsing on top of the collection, we'll be gradually bringing there the people searching by the name, traits, or the properties, or something like that. So we'll bring the stuff. Another stuff what we packaged inside in this is actually we are fetching and pre-caching some popular results. And how we're actually doing it, actually we have like a partner like Cloudflare, which is pretty popular. We are one of them alpha testers with their features, and we are replicating this kind of data worldwide with them. So actually the delivery and UX is for the end user perfect. So we will be gradually improving this kind of feature under the hood, and we'll let you know when we some updates on this. So another stuff is actually the simple mint, which actually been scoping through the stuff, and I believe there is a not great minting experience even in the Ethereum world, and we've been trying to bring this kind of the super easy and mobile-friendly the minting, which should work from all the wallets. So we believe like once we'll be this right, and we'll be testing during the summer with the artists, we'll try some incentives where you should try to onboard as many as possible artists to the Polkadot ecosystem, because there is actually, to be honest, not so much artists as would like to imagine. So even there is gradually, on some other protocols, there is over 1,000 creators. It's still not enough comparing some Ethereum projects. So we would like gradually trying, invite them over, right? So, and it will be available in the summer. So another stuff, which are pretty familiar, mostly like the traders and the people of flippers and investing in more serious collections is actually simple stuff, which is bulk buying. So actually you go through the Explorer, and there you actually select some particular items and then actually other actions, what we like to do. And this is how we call we are rethinking whole the buying experience, because we feel like trapped in the Netscape Navigator in the 90s. When you're buying the NFTs, it's like you go somewhere, you click the item, click mint, the sign experience, go check if the transaction passes and pray, right? And same with the listing is like super pain. But here we try to make it in more seamless and streamlined. So we feel inspired. There's like a lot of great inspiration on the Solana marketplaces, where it should be this much faster. And with our partners, we're actually really faster and they're not parachain. We would like to bring this experience on board and I think demonstrate it. So feel free to DM us for some beta testing. We're like happy to listen your feedback on this kind of stuff, and we'll go from there. So, and most great one for the traders, because we try to feel that we would like to bring a lot of the traders on board. We would like bringing this kind of the trade sniper, and we'll make it multi-chain. So any kind of the chains we'll be indexing, we're making the kind of the index where you can search this kind of the trades, and maybe flipping the NFTs from the collections based on this, because this is actually quite feature which is really in demand. And plus, combining with our bulk buying with the bidding on some kind of the trades, we would like enable this for the many traders out there. So. Okay, so maybe you ask like how fast we can deliver this. So actually, I will briefly talk about our model and how we work. So we are quite small team, and bit water. And we feel like inspired by the Gitcoin model, which actually works if you are familiar with it. Like raise your hands who actually knows the Gitcoin. Quite good. So Gitcoin model works in the way that actually you put the bounty as the project, some people come, do the delivery, and then actually pay them, right? That's amazing. As a bounty hunter, you find the bounties, projects which match your skill set, and deliver the PR and get paid. Yes, it works. I've been experienced it back in the past as well. And only downside is actually it takes a while to get reply or that bounty or something like that. For me, like it was like 2 weeks, right? Wow, we almost forget what you've been doing 2 weeks ago. So in this way, we try to power the developers, which give us kind of this quickly dopamine loop for them, that once the developers deliver the PR, in sometimes less than the hour or less than 10 minutes, they actually get rewarded and they get another PR, which is actually amazing, I think. So this actually creates some brutal machine and delivering a lot of PRs in quick and short moments. So, and of course, we didn't have planned to do this, but we had to. So, based on the numbers, what actually brought us to us and the KodaDot itself was like we're actually getting recognition by the GitHub itself. Then actually we're getting recognition a lot of popular OSS frameworks. So for example, we start using for CSS some guys from called the Bulma, which is BUFI, and now actually Oruga, and migrating whole KodaDot to the Oruga. And we actually been sponsoring them as well, and they help us a lot. And we feel privileged like using some kind of the open source libraries with recognition. Another stuff is like that we have sort of how we work. We have unique development process in that way that people who are contributing, getting the paid, they're helping, and sometimes we actually people side hustle with our PRs. We got from their companies who are hiring them. They're sending us this GitHub handle is claiming that was contributing to the KodaDot. So actually, I was like, wow, that's super nice. And I was like, always what I can tell, like look on their GitHub and there's like contributions. So that's what you see is transparent. And other stuff, actually how we work and how things works, is that, for example, we had idea, we tried write it always in our issues, and from these issues, we actually try to push it to the developers. So actually, we write this issue, put the bounty label there, and somebody just comes in, do the wave symbol, the issues get assigned, and they're actually delivering the PR. And sometimes it was in the bull run, like February 22. And we write some issue at 8 p.m. One guy just replied in under 1 minute, and in the next 10 minutes, there was PR. So it's like brutally, right? So actually, it's something like could be GPT comparable or something like that, but not that automated, I would like say. So thanks to this, we got like over 100 developers. Of course, a lot of stars, which nobody cares, and a lot of forks, which also nobody cares. So, but that actually creates like sort of the unmatchable culture, how we're actually doing the development. So we see the steady income of the new people in the ecosystem, and they're actually helping us across various organizations as well. So, yeah, what was the reason like we actually need this kind of system? So, yeah, of course, we raise the money, but not that much we can like afford some people paying like really high payroll or mercenaries, right? So we've been looking like kind of this time that what kind of people we actually want to on the board. So actually we're thinking like quite a lot, and something we actually would like to avoid the mercenaries. Even give it a shot, it was like not good experience for us. And we think about it that we should get the rewards for the proof of work, right? So that was actually the system how it gets slowly reinvented. So for example, just demonstration, just last week, we had this idea we should definitely have this drop page. With the access, we just had a quick session, like how should design, how the game mechanics should work. And we just did this quick version 0. We just did the handover issues. You can feel free to track it in our GitHub issues. And thanks to the access, the edge jars in the WikiWall, we actually delivered the first PR, version 0. And there is already, during just preparing this presentation, I think there is 2 more PRs getting merged, and the thing's actually getting updated because it's still version 0, right? But I want to make it working in end of this presentation. So yeah, I'll demonstrating the stuff. So back to our system, how it works is actually we process like over 1,000 on-chain bounties, which is, I think, quite a lot. And we are getting slowly topping like what's the Gitcoin throughput there on the terms of the bounties. And we give away close to 500,000 in the Kusama. And now actually we are moving with all the system to the DOT. And in the future, we plan to support the USDT. And we'll be more than happy like getting the partner project on board on this, because we actually have quite a unique IP there over, and we have like nailed down the process which works. So in terms of the numbers on the GitHub, we managed to get like over close to 5,000 issues, which is quite a lot for 2 years, and over close to 3,000 pull requests, which is quite a lot for amount of the team that we are actually like still 2 co-founders, right? So it's like brutal tempo, I would like say. So what is actually behind all the system actually is working is like our whole KodaDot, the URI payment system. So when people come to the KodaDot, we have in the pull request template actually can generate this kind of the link. They will slightly generate it. They put in the pull request template when they deliver the PR, and our bot actually grabs it and actually is automated. And we feel that this is actually quite good. That's our sort of small invention, that we can streamline this kind of the payments that we are using in ourselves for the payrolls, for the ambassadors, and any kind of the contributors. So actually people who've been contributing for the KodaDot knows it pretty well. So we'll be like lining up some upgrades here. So happy to talk more later. And on the sidelines, you know, you have like tons of the contributions. You need to think about like, well, what's the quality of the code, right? So of course it was shitty. So we need to think about like who will be checking the code. So we were like thinking something like, well, we don't have the bandwidth for it to checking it, but we have the money. We can like incentivize these people who actually been working on it. So gradually, the people who actually contributed like over 50 pull requests to the code base, we just add them to the organization. Organization that is always elected when the PR is getting raised, and we've been gradually assigning the team there. So currently, the code reviews actually got initially paid as well, and currently we have 8 code reviewers, so actually gradually reviewing the PR, so actually the process of the merging and the evolution of the code base is smooth. So, and this is the numbers. So you can see like the previous year, January 22, we got the hit like close to 250 pull requests, which is, I think, amazing effort for the like really small team of 2. And it could be kind of the story that you just woke up, you see the queue of 20 pull requests for people outside, you just go on the bike or go some the hike, return afternoon, and use another 50. I was like, oh my God, that's unbearable. So we've been like thinking like how to make it much smarter. So we did like small hack that where we write the bot and giving the permission to people to some other hot wallets. So we tried to nurture this kind of the peer culture where people being paying themselves. So it was like quite promoting interesting culture. Seems it actually worked, and that's actually how we achieved in a really small team a lot of contribution to our code base. I think in the February we have over 20 contributors outside. We actually don't know. They just came from the internet. They're contributing a lot, right? And that actually worked. So back to the KodaDot, like what we are actually on the product. that we actually try to integrate all the NFT standards we actually seen. In the Polkadot, it was like quite rich experience. And apart from the EVM ones, we started implementing this Remark 1, Remark 2. Then we won the hackathon on the Moonriver and Moonbeam. Then we implemented with the Basilisk and the teleporter stuff, so you can mint the NFTs for the Kusama, and soon, hopefully, the multi-currency support as well. And other stuff is coming, like is StateMine, where we implemented in 21 the Unix palette first version, now Unix version 1.1. And now actually is going live the NFT palette, which is coming to the StateMine as well. And it will be available to the KodaDot on the StateMine in the mid-July. And the StateMine is available right now, but it's still in beta. So that's for the NFT standards. We are supporting this across the 6 chain. And hopefully, during the summer, we try to demonstrate with the StateMine the atomic swaps. And I think this will be driving really interesting the peer-to-peer culture for the trading, because there is a lot of real-world use cases already running on the esports and gaming, and we are already getting reach out from this kind of the guys. Another stuff is actually off-chain signature, which is like going credits to the Yegor and the Sasha, who are behind all this stuff in the parity. And we would like happy to bring the collaborative collections. So imagine the one Andres can broadcast this off-chain signature, or they're actually added, and you can kind of make these DAO collections which would be native on-chain. And other stuff could be like the pop drops, which could be signed by some other third party, which is amazing, I think. And what we are looking forward is actually bringing the WASM NFTs. There is definitely at least 3 parachains I can name of, which actually will be supporting these WASM NFTs, and we'll be happy to try to integrate them over to the KodaDot as well. So now, as the developers, I think raise the hands who is developer here. Nice. So what we actually deliver is the KodaDot for developers, right? So we have like the UniQuery, workers, indexers, Minimark, Fandom, and the CLI tooling. So the UniQuery is like pretty easy stuff. We call it like bring your own query, and we actually wrapped all our indexers over, and we try this kind of the stuff people to query anything they want. So we see in the demonstration in the wild that somebody used the GPT for parsing our data through our collections, and it seems like it works. And we will be like pursuing efforts to make it most easily integrated to somebody else's products and for the customer products. And if you would like to use our UniQuery, feel free, go to the KodaDot GitHub, find the packages, in UniQuery repository, and you will see all the manuals, or go to the developers.kodaDot.xyz. We'll have like more brief explanation there, what you can do with that and with other examples, and how you can query and leverage our public endpoints and indexers. Another stuff, we have the workers. So this is sort of our off-chain magic, where actually we can to supplement something which actually chains cannot provide themselves. So one of our first stuff was like the hypergate, we call it. So it's sort of like the gateway which actually serves these kind of images. But we've been like through the many partners, all the popular ones, you can name one, and all of them have like some glitches, or their terms of the service was not great. So actually we feel like quite that we cannot like operate with some customers if others can much deliver, because we've been like feeling that people, this image doesn't load, it takes a while, right? And where you are? Oh, I'm in Latin America, I'm in Australia, I'm somewhere in Hawaii, right? I was like always some various kind of stuff and network stuff it was out of our control. So we did it like in the January this year. And we migrated all of our mints we are hosting, which is like close to 500,000 items. And actually we try to provide this kind of SLA. And best of it, we actually made it public for now, and anybody can use it and fetch the data, which actually already now is hosted. Another stuff is like the Polysearch, which is powering all the smart search stuff. And how we're doing it, we have like a special partnership with the Cloudflare, and we are like the first beta testers among the first line. We're actually using the Cloudflare, it's called the D1. We just fetch the data from the indexers, put it there, and when you type something, after a few keystrokes, you're instantly getting research. And this is actually working all over the world, and using the edge functions of the Cloudflare, which actually drives the speedy response for the users, and it feels like it's running on your local network. You can filter it and search something on the KodaDot. It should work fast. Another stuff is like quite hacky, and it's called like the Open Graph SSR. It's actually we hacked away. It was like one of the first products in 21 that if you're doing sharing links from the KodaDot, hopefully not on Twitter because Twitter is fetching, but any other chains like the LinkedIn, Telegram, Discord, and anything other stuff which is doing the prefetch in some standardized way and following the Open Graph protocol, which some doesn't. but whatever. But we try to fetch the data from the collection, and we're showing right away. And why actually are we doing it? Because when a friend of yours sends you some link from some marketplace, it's much higher click-through rate when send you the link and see the items they're naturally looking for. So for example, if they send you the collection, that the stuff you see, the numbers, you can immediately, for example, put there some floor price, some volume, and that kind of stuff, or amount, distribution, it's up to you. So feel free, fork it, use the code, leverage it in yours. Another stuff, we have indexers. So anyone is free to use indexers, thanks to the subsquid that we are running, and we are running like 12 indexers. Some of them are not public, but gradually we'll be like releasing them when they're ready. We have like amazing scheme, all is like in the stuff out there, everything is a GitHub, so feel free to lurk the code, feel free to make the PRs. We have a lot of PRs going to the indexer as well, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so feel free. We are just still a small team, right? Another stuff is like Minimark, is one of our early products. It's something we actually try to wrap all the minting function, so we feel like that there is no single good tool which actually mints on the various kinds of the standards, because of course I get it that all the parachains are only providing tooling just for their own parachains. But you know, like if somebody's coming to the Solana, they would like to just mint on the Solana. If somebody coming to the Polkadot, they would like just mint the Polkadot. They don't much care which chain is right. So we just releasing this kind of the package, which actually will be wrapping the Remark one, the Unix palette, the NFT palette, and the PSP34, which is actually WASM NFTs, and the EVM-based, the ERC71, 1155, and recently we'll be implementing EIP 6551, which is actually promoting the NFT token, NFT accounts. So it will be like something close like account abstraction, I believe. No, joke. It will be like mostly like, maybe you know it from ecosystem, it's called Remark 2.0, but this is coming from the guys from the Dapper Labs, and actually it's getting really popular in the Ethereum, and we're happy to bring it over, of course. So another stuff is actually fandom shops. So this was actually quite quick hack as well, and thanks to the Uniquery, these could be built in one day with the Deno, like custom fandom shop, fetching the data from the on-chain and customizing the collection in very on your way. Of course, we are thinking like this is like free for anyone, DIY, whatever you want. So you can like have your gaming collections, have your POAPs, you want to make it on your web page or something like that, you feel free to grab. Of course, we are thinking providing some custodial service as well, because not all non-developers can doing this kind of stuff. So we think like offering some white glove service, and we are happy to partner with some blue chip collections who would like feel like home shop. So this is still in the works. There is already 3 fandom shops in the wild based on this, which is really nice. So it's getting slowly traction, and probably end of the year we'll see how the more collections coming to the Polkadot and the KodaDot as well. So another stuff is like CLI tooling, and we got some feedback from the devs. It is like hard to test sometimes our stuff, and we would like to bring this kind of stuff where actually people can test this stuff. So if people are doing the mints, usually doing through the browsers, but we found out like a lot of people is running some tests and some GitHub actions, and they would like to automatize everything, right? And yeah, we'll be releasing this kind of tooling. It's still like in the clouds, but I've seen some progress there, so we'll see how it goes. So another stuff is going to the organizers of this event itself. So I would like to, if you can really applause for them and this kind of the organizers, because thanks to them we're actually here. So it's the KodaDot, who actually KodaCon, who actually spin off from the KodaDot. We delivered, thanks to them, like over 2,000 events cumulative for the last year, distributed a lot of the shirts, and they've been like handling all this kind of the stuff. So I would like to give like big applause, if you can do, for all the organizer teams. And it's like namely the Clary and Dunsky. Nice. And the Lou as well. Thank you. So another stuff we have in the KodaDot is like the incentive models. Of course, we try to squeeze over some artists to the Polkadot and start minting and offer them much better experience. So we're running the artist ambassador, which actually got some success as well. We try to look for people who are in the communities per city, or who actually like to hang in some digital communities. We like to sponsor them, and feel free, everything find on our page like hello.koda.xyz. Another stuff we did amazing successful experience was like it was indeed the Denver. We remotely sent there like 300 shirts. We got some locals, and they happily to distribute the stuff. Another stuff was like in the Austin, in the Texas, where actually we have like the rest of the 100 shirts. Another stuff we are running is also the referral program. So we would like looking forward to onboard onboard more and more people to the KodaDot and reward them for various kind of the actions. So for example, this BUA buys, sell, list, means, and whatsoever. So we'll be talking about it later. Okay, this is probably the precious one. So as you know, all of us actually working remotely. And we think about it like, actually, well, it's good to be remote, but sometimes it's just good to meet face. So we actually been looking on the place where in the world we would like to settle for a while, and we just found the sort of co-working space, right? But you can have co-working space in any kind of the major city, that's great, right? But how we actually choose it, it was like beautiful, the mountain air in the Julian Alps, and you just Google it. It's like Bled, Slovenia, amazing views. And right now the metrics is actually we have like 7+ the co-workers, we have a lot of reviews on the Google Maps. We already hosted the Polkadot mini-conf there, which is like over 50 attendees there. And end of the summer, we would like to host the Polkadot Bled NFT hackathon, which will be coming most likely in the September. So we'll be most keep update you as well. So, and this is not the stuff why you actually should come. So I know that a lot of you are probably remote or somebody actually in the on-site or something like that, but actually you want to get things done, right? So that's like hard. And I think that in the summer you can actually get things done. So who we can actually meet is actually people from the KodaDot, of course, because we are builders. What you can get is like, you will be like really well being first with all the athletic stuff. We have like the Web3 merchandise, and we will actually deliver because we have like superior grinding culture. So actually we are sometimes grinding till 9 p.m., which is not healthy. And the question is only when you are coming, right? So hopefully just Google on the Google Maps subwork, feel free to come. It's in the Slovenia, it's in the Balkan area. Sometimes say Slovenia is Central Europe, some Balkans, who knows. And that's the stuff. So this is coming to the end. So I would like to ask you to pull your mobile. Hopefully the QR code works. And this is actually our drop page, which actually should be finished around this time, end of the presentation. And if you got the Nova wallet, sub wallet, or any kind of the wallet, go on this page. It's kind of the unlockables we just made recently. Oh wow, scanner's nice, working. And it will demonstration of the NFTs on the state mine, on the NFT palette. So we just demonstrating our unlockables. It's actually working, and once you mint it, you should like receive it on the wallet. And then actually when you go to the item, you should find the voucher and follow the link in the unlockable section. I've been telling about it sooner. And when you have free voucher, what you should do is that, right? So be quick. Oh, okay. So we are giving away like this voucher, and the thing is like why should we hurrying up is only like the 60 of them. So there is like limited supply, of course. And feel free to grab anything from the shop and support our beloved artists. We're actually running the commissions with them. And in our merch shop, we have like over 50 items end of the year, hopefully. And we can like bring more and more people to the Polkadot through our merchandise as well. So any more scanners, nice. So what's the future? So we got amazing inbound for the business development for the KodaDot. We got amazing requests for the white labeling, this kind of solution, because we built amazing tooling in the short period of the time. And we will be like looking on the way how we make this our open source contribution even more cooler, even or more better. And we'll be like looking onboarding more the creative agencies and the studios. So if any of you actually know the creative agencies or the studio, we're happy to help them, happy to onboard them the Polkadot. We're like happy to offer them amazing experience from the NFTs. And I say I would like happy to will beat any other kind of the ecosystem out there, and we'll be happy to be quite a better experience for them because not much NFT marketplace are innovating that much. So we are dedicated for that. And the closing remarks, I would like to thank you that you actually came for this conference. And that's everything for me. Thank you. Nice.